Christmas did not suddenly lose its magic. Something else changed first, and most people feel it before they can explain it. Think back to a real Christmas from years ago. Not a movie scene, not a perfect memory, just a normal one. The days felt slower. The build-up lasted longer. Money was part of the plan, but it was not the center of every decision. Now ask yourself this: when was the last time Christmas felt like that? For millions of families, Christmas now feels tighter, shorter, heavier. Less joy and more pressure. That shift is not about nostalgia or getting older. It is about economics. Here is the reality most people are living inside. Since 2020, prices for everyday life have risen far faster than paychecks. Food prices are up over 25% in 4 years. Rent is up more than 20% nationwide and much higher in many cities. Electricity, gas, insurance, and healthcare all climbed at the same time. Yet real wages barely moved after inflation. That gap matters. Christmas depends on the margin of money, margin of time, margin of emotional energy. Inflation quietly erased that margin. Be honest for a moment. When December arrives now, do you feel excitement or calculation? If you catch yourself doing math instead of planning joy, type math mode in the comments. For many households, Christmas has turned into a financial stress test. December is when the numbers stop working. The average American family now spends around 20% more on the same holiday items than they did just 5 years ago. Gifts cost more. Travel costs more. Food costs more. Even wrapping paper costs more. Yet incomes did not rise at the same pace. Credit card data shows that December balances spike every year, but the spike is sharper now. Many families enter January already behind. That changes how Christmas feels before it even starts. Ask yourself this honestly. Do you enjoy Christmas spending now, or do you fear the bill that comes after? Comment in joy or fear. Another shift is time pressure. Inflation did not just raise prices. Keynes closely did not just raise priced workloads. People work more hours to keep up. Side gigs became normal. Overtime feels necessary. Parents juggle multiple schedules just to stay even. When life runs at full speed all year, December does not slow things down. It accelerates them. Christmas used to be a pause. Now it is layered on top of exhaustion. Have you ever felt relieved when the holidays ended? If yes, type relieved. There is also the housing effect. Rising rents and mortgages changed where people live and how far apart families are. Millions moved farther from parents, siblings, and childhood homes because they could not afford to stay. Travel costs rose at the same time. Flights, gas, and hotels all jumped since 2021. For many families, Christmas is now a screen instead of a table. If you've missed a holiday because travel was too expensive or time off was impossible, you are not alone. That absence shrinks the season emotionally. Another factor is psychological. Inflation keeps people in survival mode. When groceries jump month to month, when rent renewals bring anxiety, when medical bills feel unpredictable, the brain stays alert. It does not relax easily. Joy requires safety. Inflation erodes that sense of safety. Christmas also magnifies inequality more than it used to. Social media shows abundance constantly. Perfect trees, big gifts, smiling families. Even when you know it is curated, it still lands. For families struggling with higher costs, Christmas becomes a comparison season. That comparison hurts more when inflation already made people feel behind. Parents feel this pressure intensely. Childcare costs rose over 30% in many areas since 2020. Health insurance premiums climbed. School expenses added up. By December, parents are not thinking about magic. They are thinking about protection. They want their kids to feel normal. That weight changes everything. Children sense it too. They hear money conversations. They feel tension. Christmas becomes quieter when adults are stretched thin. There is also grief attached to this season. Inflation did not cause loss, but it amplifies it. When family members pass away, when houses are sold, when old neighborhoods become unaffordable, traditions fracture. Christmas highlights absence more sharply than any other time of year. If Christmas brings both warmth and sadness for you, comment both. All of this builds toward one truth. Christmas did not shrink on its own. Inflation compressed it. When prices rise faster than wages, holidays feel like obligations instead of celebrations. When essentials eat most of the budget, joy feels expensive. Here is something important to hear. Feeling this does not mean you failed. It means you are responding rationally to economic pressure. So what happens next? Some people numb out and rush through December. Some overspend and regret it later. Some withdraw and tell themselves they are bitter. None of those responses solve the root issue. The deeper question is this: what actually made Christmas feel big in the past? Was it the size of gifts or the absence of financial fear? Was it decorations or the sense that life could slow down without penalty? When people answer honestly, they usually say the same thing. Christmas felt big because life felt manageable. That insight matters. You cannot personally fix inflation. You cannot undo housing costs overnight. But you can stop blaming yourself for feeling different. You can also reshape expectations. That might mean fewer gifts and more presents, less spending and more intention, one meaningful moment instead of chasing an image that no longer fits modern life. Ask yourself this: if you could protect just one part of Christmas, which would it be? The meal, the morning, the quiet night, the conversation? Write it in the comments. Many families are quietly adapting. Smaller gatherings, simpler plans, less debt. Not because they gave up, but because they adjusted to reality. Christmas does not have to disappear because the economy changed. It just cannot look the same. There is another layer people rarely name. Fear followed inflation into the holidays. Fear about money. Fear about health. Fear about the future. When those fears sit in the background all year, they do not vanish in December. They show up at the table. They shape conversations. They linger in silence. Christmas used to feel like a pause button. Today, worries come with you. Emotional energy is also lower than it used to be. Constant news, constant decisions, constant pressure. When reserves run low, joy becomes harder to access, even in moments meant for it. That does not mean people are ungrateful. It means they are tired. Christmas also asks too much at once. Be generous. Be joyful. Be social. Be productive. Be calm. Inflation makes those demands clash with reality. If you have ever felt guilty for not feeling excited enough, that guilt is part of the problem. Here is the reframing that matters. Feeling less does not mean Christmas failed. It means the season is asking for honesty instead of performance. Maybe Christmas now asks for rest instead of excess. Maybe it asks for presence instead of proof. Maybe it asks you to stop chasing how it used to feel and meet it where you are. That shift does not make Christmas smaller. It makes it real. The final truth is simple. Christmas did not change. The economy did. When financial pressure eases, the season expands again. Even briefly, a quiet coffee, a shared laugh, a thoughtful gift. Those moments still exist. So here is the closing question. What do you miss most about old Christmas? Not the stuff, the feeling. Peace, safety, time, hope. Write one word. If this video puts words to something you have felt but never named, share it with someone who says, "It just feels different now." Like the video if it helped you feel understood. Subscribe if you want more honest conversations about money, inflation, and the quiet ways they shape daily life. This channel is for people who sense that something shifted beneath the surface and want clarity instead of denial.